right? Like you're on the 1 minute, you see it go down, oh, it's selling off, you see it go up, oh, we're buying, da 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 da, like just this whole mess, right? But when you zoom out, you've got these levels right here. So until you get to one of these areas, it's just going to be kind of a choppy situation. So just zoom out and you'll see that like right away this morning, it wasn't a great time to trade. At least for me, it wasn't a great time to trade. But yeah, just zoom out. Same thing with life, right? Just things are stressing you out, just zoom out. It's usually not as big of a deal as we make it out to be. So trading is a great analogy for life. Happy Monday, happy Valentine's Day. Whether you're single and ready to mingle or you are badly in love, I've got a recap for you. Okay, so today the SPY was just really range bound for a very long time. I'm actually surprised I took a trade, and I'm actually surprised the trade worked out, to be honest. Because if we look at, let me just get my pen here. Where's my little guy? Here he is, Mr. Epic. I'll show you these on the weekly level, but I've got 2 weekly levels here, or daily levels, and it's just kind of like in this area, right? So if you zoom out on the chart, it's a lot easier to see this kind of stuff. When you're zoomed into the 1 minute, like if I go into the 1 minute on the SPY today, this is where it trips people up, I think, right? Like you're on the 1 minute, you see it go down, oh, it's selling off, you see it go up, oh, we're buying, da 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 da, like just this whole mess, right? But when you zoom out, you've got these levels right here. So until you get to one of these areas, it's just going to be kind of a choppy situation. So just zoom out and you'll see that like right away this morning, it wasn't a great time to trade. At least for me, it wasn't a great time to trade. But yeah, just zoom out. Same thing with life, right? Just things are stressing you out, just zoom out. It's usually not as big of a deal as we make it out to be. So trading is a great analogy for life. All right. Anyways, so let me put my pivots on really quick so I could just also show you that, because this is also part of the problem here this morning. So not only do we have these daily levels on the SPY for these range levels, but we're also just like in between the solid sort of pivots, right? So they're all the way up here. So really, there's really no place to trade unless you get to a range level or one of these key pivot points. So yeah, anyways, if you didn't trade this morning, that would probably be why. If you did trade this morning and it was successful, congrats. If you had a rough day, that could be why. All right, so I traded MU. I'll bring it out to the weekly. I guess I'll take the pivots back off for you real quick. So on the weekly chart of MU, we've got this range that has set up previously, and then it came back into it a few weeks ago, tried to get out of it, came back into it, broke below it. Now we're back in it, and we're pushing right up against the top of it. It has a little bit more potential for a long, possibly because the moving averages are starting to trend upward and turn upward, but I just kind of wanted to see what the SPY was doing. And also, if we take it to the intraday here, so that yellow line is my weekly range, and then if I put the pivots back on, all right, so this yellow line up here is my weekly level, and then green line is R4. So I was looking for a short up here this morning. I wasn't really interested in a breakout just because the pivots were so wide. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to play. So if we take it to the 2 minute, you can see that when it got up there, oops, happy fingers here. We got up there this morning. It threw this candle after a push up, right? So it pushed up through this candle on lower volume, but there was no follow through on the higher volume pushing up through this level. So I was interested in a short on it. I wasn't totally convinced just because of where the SPY was sitting. Like I really wanted the SPY to be at a place where it felt like it would maybe have some resistance and would get a bit of a downtrend. So I'm not surprised it did this before breaking down. I was prepared for that. So yeah, what I did was I entered here. Whoop. You get the point. I partialed at VWAP just because, I wanted a bigger move down here, but I partialed at VWAP just because of the way the SPY was looking at the time, and I just wasn't totally convinced. Also, the Qs continue to push up, and yeah, I don't know. Wasn't totally convicted, so it was small size. Then I added on the retracement back to that level. When we got up here on the L2, what I saw was at about 92.65, there was a large ask. And as we approached it, that large ask went down into the 50s. So it was dropping before we even really got up there, which showed me that sellers were just ready to get out, right? So as we got close to this level and we rejected, I added into it. I partialed again at VWAP and the opening price. And then I was holding for this level down here, but a little bit of volume came in when it pushed off of previous day's open. So I just took another partial just to be safe. And then I set some range orders. And I had a meeting to get to, and I luckily got filled. And it's still moving. So it just really needed the SPY to break down, right? So like I was saying, the SPY was just kind of trading in a range. So MU was just kind of doing this too. But I did end up getting this partial, and then I just set my all-out range order here, just slightly above previous day's close. I wasn't sure if it would get all the way down there because there weren't a lot of bids to the downside, and there were still a few asks to the top side. So it's definitely the market that brought this down, and luckily it filled me. So I just want to show you, if I zoom out on the 60, you can kind of see, let me get a box here. You can see this area, right? So it's kind of starting to set a range on the 60. Over the past 2 days. We're still in it. So I really was just like, I'll take my all out here just in case that's the bottom of like the range or something. But yeah, a nice little move on MU, and that's really it. I mean, I played around a little bit with Netflix, but it's really nothing to show just because it's a new strategy that I'm working on. And so until I can like talk it through appropriately, I'm not going to like put it on here. But yeah, so that's it. Hope you have a happy Valentine's Day, and catch you guys later. Peace.